For your report, you need to describe an algorithm, making sure you are clear about at what point you're doing repetition and when you're doing selection and comparisons. You're going to do quicksort or selection sort, probably selection sort most likely. As an example, I'm going to show you how to do insertion sort and how to write about it. Insertion sort is not one of the ones you're going to do. So this is the way insertion sort starts. Firstly, you just grab first item from the unsorted list and you say it's in the sorted list now. It's the highest item in the sorted list. Next, you grab an item from the unsorted list and you compare it to the item that's in the sorted list. This is the heaviest, so I've now got two items in the sorted list. Let's just have a quick look at what that looks like in my description. I've said start by taking the first item in the unsorted list and placing it as the only item in the sorted list. Yep, remember doing that. And take the next item in the list and compare. Yep, did that. If it is larger, place it at the end of the list. Otherwise, move it up one space and put it in its place. That's okay. So next item in my unsorted list is this one, and I'm going to compare it to each one in turn until I find the one that is lighter than it. So this one is heavier, so it goes here. This one is lighter, so I insert it into this space here. I'm going to carry on doing that, just one more lap through just to show you what I mean. So it turns out that one is heavier, so it goes to the end of the list. Let's carry on going, shall we? That one is heavier again. This is going well. And so that one is heavier, so it goes there compared to this one. That one is heavier, so it goes there compared to this one. It's heavier, so it goes there compared to this one. Heavier, so it goes there compared to this one. It goes there, so I insert it into this place. So you can see why it's called insertion sort, and basically I'm having to move all of these up each time in order to insert this into this place. And I'll continue with that, but let's just have a look at what that looks like in terms of description. So I've said take the next item from the unsorted list, compare to each item in the sorted list in turn, starting at the largest end. So this in turn, I guess, is what explains that it's repetition. So I'm doing the same thing over and over again. So comparing to each item, just like I did in the last one. And what was, I thought, helpful was describing my actions for this as sub-steps. So in terms of what I do when I compare, if the unsorted item is heavier, I insert it. I should probably go insert it in here. Insert it in the sorted list. And I think it's before the comparison item. Yeah, something like that, before. You do need to make sure it's reasonably accurate. And if the unsorted item is lighter, move it up one place and go to step A. So this is basically just shuffling it along as we go. And just to prove that it works, because I like to prove that things do work, I'm going to carry on doing this. So this one is heavier, so we know it goes here. And then the last one is heavier. It's heavier. We insert it into here. So it's actually quite efficient, 14 comparisons, and it is correct. So my last thing that I wrote in this here was, what did I write? Oops. Dang it. Last thing I wrote was, continue to repeat steps 2 and 3 until you have used up all items from the unsorted list, and then I've finally stated your list is now sorted. So items 2 and 3 were the ones where we take the next item in the list and then we're just describing what happens during that step. So when you do your description of selection sort or quick sort, you need to make sure you have a description of how the repetition works. You know, what is it that you keep doing over and over again. If you use the words and so on, you've failed. That's not okay in terms of talking about repetition. You have to say exactly what you're repeating. And then if you talk about which one you select each time, what the comparison is, and then what you do as a result, you will have done a perfect job.